What's up, folks? It's your boy DT 2.0, and today I have my top 3 thoughts and concerns of the Alienware X14. Now, disclaimer that this is not a review, right? Because this thing just hit the streets, and as usual, I have to wait a few weeks for it to get in my hands, just like any other consumer out there. But what I'm going to do is go over my initial concerns and thoughts on those things prior to me getting it actually in my hand. And I have it pulled up here just to show you guys as I walk through this, right? So we ready? Let's get into it. Concern number 1 is the design. Now, if you like the design language of Alienware for the past 3 or 4 years, that there's no problems here. It looks to be sleek and slim, and the ports are on par with the X15 and X17 with that extension in the back to house those ports, which I loved and called the junk in the trunk in my videos. But what I don't see here, and maybe you did not notice, is the missing racetrack lighting along the back, and I'll pull it up here. Boom. This right here would normally be lit up if they had it. The only RGB lighting we have is the Alienware head on the back here, and also the RGB lighting on the keyboard, the per key keyboard, which I'm hoping that's the same keyboard that they've been having in all of their laptops, which I've been a big fan of. Not even the Alienware head on a power button that we used to get. You don't get that here. So and that's something I'll miss, right? Because it's something that I actually liked. It's just a regular button blended in with the keyboard. So while we were looking with this X14, while we were looking for a smaller X15 or X17, what we are getting is a slimmed down version for a little less. And we'll talk about price in a minute. But concern number 1 is the design. Where is my racetrack lighting in this smaller package? Where is it? Concern number 2, and that's the customization. And we don't have many options here. It's pretty bare here. They just stick you with the parts that are available, but hopefully if this thing is popular and in the future, maybe the X14R2, that's gonna change. But for now, the only big upgrades are the Intel processor up here, which it upgrades to the 12th generation. And if you really look at this, these are the same processors that they have advertised. Just if you click one, it changes the options for the rest on the other side here. So it upgrades your graphics card and RAM. So look closely while you're ordering this and don't think that you're getting an upgrade to the processor. But again, the big upgrades here are the Intel processor, 12th generation, but only one option if you really look at it, and the speedy RAM, in which here you get 4800 and 5200 megahertz speed options. So that's some good things. The biggest factor here for me is I get no QHD display option. What? Just what looks like to be a smaller version of their base M15 R4 display that was released a couple of years ago. Now again, it could be some cost cutting here and them getting rid of older parts to not waste money, but Dell, let me dictate how much money I want to pay you. Just give me the option to pay you. We clear? Because if you really look at this, it's a 14-inch full HD display, which I have no problem with. Comfort View Plus, have no problem with. G-Sync Advanced Optimus, have no problem with. But 7 milliseconds, 144 hertz, I would have liked to have seen that 360 or even a 240 hertz display. Something that pretty much, makes me feel comfortable with the $1,617 price that I have to pay to get the base model. Just saying. Concern number 3, and that's the price. Starting at $1,617, if I go back to base model here. Let's go back to base model here. Let's go back to base model here. Boom. $1,617. That's an odd price to say the least, but you get a base gaming laptop model specs. If you spec this thing up to the max, then you're talking about $2,250, and that's with the 3060, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a 2 terabyte SSD. $2,250, really? I can make a video that just talk about the many options that you have for that amount of money alone for laptops with way better specs and almost certainly better performance. The one that immediately comes to mind is last year's version of the ASUS G14. Yes, you do get the Ryzen chip, but everybody knows that Ryzen 9, especially the mobile one, was no slouch. You still get 16 gigabytes of memory and a 1 terabyte SSD. I reviewed that model, and I'll leave the link in the description, and it was one of my top performing gaming laptops of last year. And I'm not talking about the performance only, I'm talking about the performance to price ratio, which the ASUS G14 most definitely reigns supreme on. Now you can get one of those right now on sale if you catch it at the right time for between $1,250 to $1,350. And I have one pulled up on Best Buy's website. Right now it's $1,550, but like a week ago, it was sitting there for $1,350, $1,250 brand new. Right now, I think they're out of stock. Oh, nope, they have stock again. Yesterday it was out of stock. Anyway, if you get one used, then you're talking under $1,000. I would most definitely go for that one outside of the X14 if I had the options. But again, I'm not going to do a one-to-one comparison with those right now. I am going to hold off on my review for that. So where is the advantage of getting the X14 outside of more portability and that great Alienware design? I don't know, but I'll be interested when it gets in my hands and I'm able to see the performance, because at the end of the day, it is advertised as a gaming laptop. So I'm going to put it through its gaming paces, but lower my expectations to keep it fair. But it does beg me to ask the obvious question that maybe nobody is asking. I've had the Dell G15 in here, and for what it's worth, it performed in its spec space. I'll say spec space. I just wasn't satisfied with it. Now, I got beat up in the comments of that review, which I welcome, but for the price that I paid for it, which is why I went off the deep end, I expected more, especially when there are other better options out there in that price range, or a little bit outside of that price range if I added an extra $100 or two. It's on heavily discounted sale right now, so at $800, I'd probably go for it if I wanted a starter gaming laptop. But I busted the Dell G15 open and visually saw Alienware label parts in the inside. So here's the question. If you took the shell away of the X14, is it a repackaged Dell G15 just with a smaller screen? I'm definitely going to find out, and only time will tell. This is DT 2.0, and thanks for watching. Unboxing and review coming soon, as soon as I get it in. And Dell, if you are watching, hook your boy up. You know I love y'all like a play cousin. Y'all stay safe, stay healthy, and deuces.